not even with very, very good technology that can be used, because he said people should have tools that they can be creative with. So I'm trying to find a connection between the very simple tools you could be very creative with, and then you have a lot of tools you can only use for 1 or 3 or 10 purposes, but you cannot be very creative with it. And then maybe we're coming to an era where tools will help us again to...
Yes. That was also my proposal, that I think the computer is already a creative tool, but it can only be used creatively by experts. So I think in the future we will develop collectively, people like us will develop collectively computing and tools. We will engineer those tools so they are usable by a broader spectrum of people to be creative. At the same time, there will be the experts still making complex things, and there will be people like myself included still using these very simple technologies which will not be replaced in the meantime, pen and paper. So I agree with you that the spectrum of what can be designed as creative tools will be enhanced for a wider variety of people.
I just produced a program about ubiquitous computing or Internet of Things or whatever it's called. And Mark Weiser said computers will disappear. Is this going to be more and more difficult for designers of technology, because actually things are not, we cannot see them maybe anymore, but they have to be, because of that, much easier to use?
Yes. Well, the computer might disappear, but computing doesn't disappear, but it is moving about in the way that you said. So his vision of a world of networked products and services is what we're living in now, in fact. And you're quite right that the act of the imagination that we need is to see the different ways that those things can be connected together. So what does it do when we link them up? So individually they're very powerful, like the mobile phone. I can take a photograph with it and I can talk to somebody. But when I network it into a system, that's a much bigger and more powerful arena in which we can do things. So this is designed for complexity, you're quite right. And this is where we're at right now, designed for systems.
What is important for designers of technology now and in the near future? What skills do they need? What do they need to be thinking of? What do they need to, I don't know, maybe change direction? Or?
I think that they need to be able to talk to more and more different types of experts. Typically as designers we work in teams, and it's the same for technologists, that no one person makes the product and sells it, brings it to market, develops it and sells it. And because of the complexity, those teams are getting much bigger. So as somebody representing the design profession, I think that we have to have a skill in one area of design to a very high level, whether that's graphic design, interaction design, product design and so on. And as well as that, the ability to be able to talk to and understand capabilities that are not our own. So for me to work with research scientists, I have some background in computer systems design, so I am able to talk to them more easily, so I can understand their motivations and a little bit about the way that they think. So for designers in the future, we need to be able to educate people so that they have that facility to understand complexity and to be able to work with many different types of people.
Thank you. Okay, if you don't mind, then I record what you're
asking. Thank you, Tina. Thank you. Oh, you want me to ask some questions? Oh, yeah, sure.
Right.
Well, just a
one or two.
Yeah, sure, just a couple. You mentioned, you mentioned about this textile experiment in Scotland?
Yes.
Where participatory design is becoming central or interesting.
Yep.
If you could just say a couple of words about this experience, in particular, what can the industry learn from this in social, economical and technology terms?
What we're looking at is innovation in the supply chain. And so what usually happens is that products are designed and developed and manufactured, as we know, by one company, typically, and sold. And our research is really about the end user side, with the use of new tools open source software, the development of new tools, would it be possible for me to design my own clothes if I felt that appropriate, and have them sourced locally, not imported or made a long way away and taken to that location, but could I print or make or develop locally? So we're looking at network technology and digital technology to be able for us to be creative, you could say, but also to be useful in being able to make clothes and things that we find useful, and to be able to support local economies by being able to do that in that place, rather than the way that we transport goods all over the world.
So what kind of research is this? I mean, I assume it's interdisciplinary.
This is interdisciplinary, yes. These are textile designers looking at cultural trends, looking at how manufacturing
There must be some
textiles.
production, some logistics.
Yes, that's right. Well, we can produce our own textiles because we have a digital centre that can do that. So we will prototype and make things and see if they will work. So, and we have, of course, PhD students looking at this, and simply an area of research in prototyping. I would say this is about making and prototyping in such a way that it can also be socially and economically sustainable.
I mean,
It's a different model from the manufacturing,
traditional supply chain and
traditional supply chain.
Yeah.
And so, with the use of digital, we hope to make a contribution to the sustainability of certain areas.
Do you expect this model could be applicable to areas outside textile?
Oh yes, I mean we are piloting it in textile, but the principle of mass customization, which we could call it, could apply to anything that you want to make. You could think of it as products or the design of services locally. If we could make the tools rather than the products, that we could apply it to just about anything. And because of the lower and lower costs of being able to buy prototyping, rapid prototyping machinery, we can actually make things locally.
Sure.
So it's this is a fantastic opportunity, I think, in development terms.
It is.
This could really change how we manufacture
I think it is.
things.
How, if people want to learn more about this, where do they find information?
If they want to learn about mass customization, I think that they can simply Google the term, of course, and there will be information online. If they want to learn about what's going on in the Glasgow School of Art, then of course they can email me and I will forward it to the Centre for Advanced Textiles, who are looking at this.
And they have a website, Centre for Advanced Textiles?
Yes, they have their own website within the Glasgow School of Art. And the other area where we're piloting this is in, we talked earlier about product design engineering. So looking at design as the combination of design and engineering.
Sure.
And they are also looking specifically at rapid prototyping as a real embedded design methodology. So as soon as you can think of something, you can make it. You think of something and change it, you can change it.
But traditionally, production is limited by factors of production.
Yes.
And how does the new model overcome that?
The new model overcomes it because production does not need to be centralized anymore, that it can be decentralized and local, and whatever the production locally, it only needs to take care of for local needs. So the amounts are lower, less expensive, affordable, and so in this way it can change
like homemade.
the paradigm.
The factors of production are sourced locally within.
Sourced locally, yes.
And I presume there is a community involvement.
Yes, and an economic argument for that community, because maybe we can hopefully revive some of the local industries as part of that story.
Thank you ever so much. Thank you, Bettina.
Thank you. That's okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.